This episode is sponsored by Shutterstock.com. With over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips, Shutterstock helps you take your creative projects to the next level. For 30% off, head on over to Shutterstock.com and use offer code GAMEBREAKER7. This episode is also brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to receive a free audiobook, just head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker.
Gamebreaker TV.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to GuildCast episode 79 for July 17, 2013. You're watching Gamebreaker. I'm Gary Gannon. Coming up on today's show, politics. All up in this piece, politicking. Coming to Guild Wars 2. Vote, vote, vote. ArenaNet are fully supporting esports, and I just want to fly a kite, Richie. I just want to fly a freaking kite.
Go fly a kite, Gary.
Same to you, bro. Joining us as always, Mr. Richard Procopio. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Oh, snap!
Ooh.
Snap! I have those. They're in my car. Damn! I should have brought them for the show.
How did you guys get these?
We're hooked up, bro. We got people.
Oh, I see how it is. Oh,
got buttons too, right? You get to get the buttons.
Oh, another one?
Yeah. Did you get the buttons? Did you get the buttons?
I got the buttons.
Doesn't love me anymore, dude.
I'm glad you brought them.
My kid stabbed himself with the buttons.
I'm glad you brought them because I derped out and forgot them. They're in a box in my car, and I forgot to bring them into the office. But I have, yeah. That was nice. Thank you, ArenaNet, for sending that stuff over. Trying to get the word out. Vote, vote, vote.
I just have to figure out who to vote for.
Yep. The lone man out with no posters or pins, Mr. Matt Visual.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's all right. It's all right. I'm good. I'm all good. What's up, guys?
You know what? I'm going to send you my posters and pins. How's that? You
always say stuff on the air, but when we get off the air, it's just like, where's Gary?
Bullshit. I said, hey, I wanted to send you The Witcher, and you weren't even friends with me on Steam when I was sending them. You were not on my list. You were like, you told me your name. No, you told me your name. I think I added you, and then you didn't accept it. I was done. You slept on it. You slept on it.
You snooze, you lose.
Send it to Richie. Richie got it, right, Richie? Didn't you get it? You already had it? I thought I sent it to you. I thought I sent it to you.
I had it.
I tried sending it to you, and you had it. Okay. Yeah.
I'm good.
All right, screw you, man. I'm not going to send you the posters or the pins then.
I'll send you some buttons. Man.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not sending you shit.
Now you're going to be called unvisual for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't do that. No, seriously, if you want them, let me know. Shoot me your email address. I'll send them to you because I'll see what I don't even know how many they sent. I think they sent a few of them, so I don't know. Maybe I'll frame some, put them around the office, and I'll send the others out or something. I don't know what to do with them. Colin Johansson live streaming. What's up with this? When was this? What's it all about?
Yesterday. Yep.
What did he what did he go over? What did the main man talk about here on the Twitch.tvs?
He covered like a lot of the hot topics, right? Living story, the 2-week schedule, expansions, all that kind of stuff. I guess the main takeaways is tomorrow we're going to get a big blog post that's really going to detail their plans, kind of like the roadmap for the rest of 2013. So we got to, watch for that. The other, there was no real big major announcement. He just talked a little bit about what we've been talking about the past few weeks with how they're, now working on this 2-week schedule and how they have the 4 living story teams and how the actual patches are bigger now and they're starting to hit their stride. I guess the biggest news was that the Fractal of the Mist is going to not only see, we'll talk about this in a bit, is not only going to see a new instance based on this vote that's coming up, but we're also going to get the Aetherblade Retreat and the Molten Weapon Facility back into the Fractals at some point later this year. So It looks like we're going to get at least three new things added to Fractals before the end of the year, so that's pretty exciting stuff.
What about permanent elements? Did they talk about more permanent elements coming to the game?
Yes, he did. He did. And he said that they added more teams to the living story team. So there's 4 teams now, right? And now, eventually, when they catch up, they're going to be able to cycle between the teams, and they'll have a longer period to work on extra content. And basically, the patches will get better, bigger, and I guess, every 2 weeks. So that's going to be pretty good. I can't wait to see what they come up with. And if each person has 4 week periods. Let's see. Hold up, I'm gonna have to do basic math here.
There comes math.
8 weeks. 8 weeks, right? No.
8
weeks, yeah. Each person has 8 weeks to do one big patch. Then, they have enough time to.
They also emphasize that They also emphasize that there's more teams than just the living story teams. There's teams that are working on more permanent content and bigger projects that they can't even announce yet. So, the 4 teams is just what they classify as their living story team. So. Yeah, and I mentioned this last week, and Colin actually said it on the stream yesterday, and this is what I think I want to drive home with players is they're laying a lot of groundwork this whole year, right? So when it comes to the second year and they hit Halloween, right? All the decorations are done, the mini games are done, the jumping puzzle, clock tower is done. They have more time to actually work on not only more things to kind of change up and enhance the Shadow of the Mad King patch that'll hit in October again. But also, they'll free up some of their team members to work on bigger things, right? And the same thing when Winter's Day comes around and Dragon Bash, and now they have the Super Adventure Box they can bring back, and now they're going to have this Bazaar of the Four Winds zone that they can constantly bring back. So all of these big, huge things that take up a lot of resources is going to be done so that, year 2, we're going to actually really see what they're capable of once this groundwork is all made. So I'm excited.
What about dungeons and you touch a little bit on fractals? Updates to dungeons? He talked a little bit about that. What did he have to say there?
He said that sometime they're going to update the dungeons, every once in a while, and sometimes a dungeon will totally be destroyed using the living story and be replaced if that's the way that they have a permanent, impact into the world. They really want to put emphasis on the living story and making sure there's a reason why the dungeons change. So that was one of the examples that he gave that, a dungeon could be just totally destroyed and stuff like that. So it sounds pretty cool. I don't know. I think I'd rather just see another dungeon for them destroying a dungeon. So no one will know how the dungeon was before. I guess if it's for the better, then it's fine. But I don't know how it would work into the story like that.
It almost sounds like they're trying to find I'm just thinking, I can't remember some of the MMOs, but there's been a few MMOs that have come and gone and they just burned out because their big selling point was sort of this and again, these are 2 different things. Guild Wars was not doing this, but I feel like they're trying to do a hybrid here. But there's a couple of game companies who were doing MMOs. They were trying to do GM run events and really live interactive feeling things where things would happen and there was gonna be a team of people behind it and all that. And they never worked because they can never scale it, right? So it's it's just impossible. Yeah. It sounds like they're kind of figuring out this sort of in-between model where things do happen, they do change, the landscape changes a bit, maybe not on a daily basis, but maybe on a monthly basis, things like that. So it's pretty interesting where they're going. What else about the anything about expansion? Because we're coming up. I mean, any word?
He barely touched it. Go ahead, Richie, because
I was gonna say it's funny. We keep getting different things, right? So Mike Z had those comments a couple weeks ago saying, "Oh, we don't even need to do expansions." Then Colin went onto the forums and said, "Oh, whoa, we still are definitely looking at doing expansions." And then this live stream, he didn't confirm anything, but he said that they're still investigating whether a traditional expansion is going to be the way that they go, or they're going to do something that no one else has done before, a new way to kind of do this content. So he said that nothing's off the table. They might introduce new races or professions or different things like that you would expect to be in an expansion. They might put that in as part of the living story at some point. It's not going to be this year. It's not going to be anytime soon.
That would be such a risky move, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be so. You know what? You know why? Just alone, the marketing that goes along with an expansion, just the word expansion, bring so many players back, and it's like a box, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna play it again, you know. And I feel like if they, that would be super risky if they were just not go down the traditional route of having an expansion and just kind of like start releasing content. I don't see them doing it.
It's a risk, but you know, it could pay off too. I mean, you know, from all indications, they're still making, they're doing very, very well financially, right? And
I'm sure they are, yeah. And
so, and this game is making money in the gem store with this model. So maybe they do something crazy different. And I agree, there is a risk, right? You want to have all those players that have been bored with the game and bought the game, and you know, you want them to come flocking back because there's some new big, you know, hook to it or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe they could make it work.
I think with a lot of these little things that they permeate out, it's hard to get a large group of people really excited about like smaller bits of content because there's not something that like, you know, kind of caters to everyone. Where usually an expansion has something for everyone. They've updated, you know, everything. There's new classes, there's new PvE stuff, there's new PvP stuff, there's going to be WW stuff. So it's like they end up hitting everyone. Where with the smaller slices and cadence, you know, the smaller slices of content, it's like it's really hard to hit everyone and get everybody psyched up and kind of like in this frenzy of excitement for Guild Wars 2 expansion mode.
Right. But what if they do that and they don't sell it as an expansion? What if they have a team working on some big, huge kind of thing like that, and they roll it out just to everyone who's playing the game? And blow people's minds.
Wow, would they give it away for I mean, Eve's been giving away expansions forever, so it's not like, I mean, they do have a sub, though that's the difference.
Yeah, so that's you know.
Wow, would they do?
There has to be enough players in the game, though. It really
buy to play game, no subscription, and give away expansions. Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends on their player base. Who knows? I don't know. What about LFG tool? Looking for group tool? What's going on with that? Anybody ask? Did they talk at all about that?
Yep.
Yeah, they did. I think they said by the end of the year. I'm pretty sure they said by the end of the year they're gonna have that.
They just did a test on it like this week, and so it's looking good. We don't know exactly when it's going to come in yet, but they sounds like they're close. If it's already kind of like testing internally.
So what? Expand a little bit on the personal story stuff. I think a lot of people are interested in that. Like, where are they going down that road? What are they doing? How are they going to blow that out?
They said they wanted to like. They were talking about, Colin was talking about that what's going to happen with the personal story, and the personal story was going to be updated with the expansions, right? Or Guild Wars 2 style expansions, as he said. And then the living story would kind of be like, you know, the world story, and that they wanted it to connect with everything. They didn't want like each living story to be like, oh, its own separate thing. It's like, oh, here's something little to do. No, they're like, for example, the politics that we're having today. The person that you vote will stay in the council, and throughout the whole time, that person is going to be able to make decisions later on in the living story because everyone voted for that person, that candidate. So, you know, they're making this whole web of story together, and it could be pretty cool. In the end of the day, at the end of the year, I would like to see how it goes. Especially with 4 teams now.
Richard, do you think most Guild Wars 2 players kind of pay attention at that level? That they're really going to be paying attention to like who's in the council and how it's driving the personal story? I mean, it sounds very like RP, like hardcore. People watching this show for sure. I get it. Like, you know, chat room's going to blow up in a second and be like, yes. Yeah, I know we are. I'm saying like,
I don't.
Do you think the average person's like going to be paying attention like that closely?
You know, the average MMO player may not have their pulse on that kind of thing, but I will say that I think Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars franchise fans are a little bit more invested in the lore and story than your average MMO player, right?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
They go gaga over, you know, all of the historic events and what they did in Guild Wars 1 and, you know, all of the, you know, the lore behind the races and the gods and all this kind of stuff. So I think that on average, the player base pays attention to the story more than you would find in other games.
And even if I think in most games, like I think it's something, the details they're expensive because they're so small and they take time to kind of work out. But I do really think they add so much to like just a game, and you know, just half-assing story and lore is just not the way to go. So I'm glad to hear that stuff. You mentioned fractals. What do we know? What's that? We got some new fractals coming in?
Yes, we do.
How many?
I gotta say, with the point that you were saying before, I think really like the living story, probably this patch, even though it's probably one of the smallest patches, is probably more. You remember this patch more than any other patch because of the voting system what we're doing right now. Like everyone is like, oh, I'm picking this person. Oh, I'm picking that person. I bet this is probably like like for people like me who just do not pay attention to the story. This is probably the patch that they're going to remember. Because,
well, that's the thing, right? Because it's very community orientated. Like this is that's like when we used to have Scott in the show. Like his big thing was always looking at guilds and bigger picture and community. I'm on this crazy community kick right now, by the way. Like everything, like I'm just screaming at everybody at Gamebreaker. Like everything we do is for the damn community. But really, if you think about it, this is the same thing, right? Because this really is bringing the community together. It's creating dialogue amongst players. Like, hey, who are you going to vote for? And it's creating conversations about what are the ramifications of this. How is this going to work? And even though it's just a vote, this just shows you how important like bigger picture and larger scale, not events, but mechanics and things in the game, like things guilds can do on a large scale level that may be hard, like people working together, because it's a very simple thing. You're just going to go and you're going to vote. But again, it's about people working together. Everybody's working together. They're casting their vote. That is going to change the game. And I think that's something that's been overlooked in MMOs for a really long time now.
Yeah, you could feel it immediately, right? On Reddit and the forums and stuff, all these threads come up supporting their particular view. And people are like battling against each other, but it's all like lighthearted and story and personality driven, like, oh, I want this and I want that. And it's fun. And there's people making like posters and comics and videos to support which one. So yeah, it's definitely, driving the community. And what I think is kind of funny about it is it's not necessarily that we're all going to log in and make a democratic vote, right? There's going to be in-game activities so you can earn the support tokens so that you can put more votes to the person you want. So the more you play, it's a pirate election, right? This is a pirate town. So it's not one vote per person. The people who put the most effort in, the people are the ones that are going to be able to sway the vote. So it's all around. It's a great community driven event.
I want to get into like how this whole political system is going to work in a second. First, I want to tell you guys about Shutterstock. Shutterstock. Love the Shutterstock. I want to save you guys 30% off just by going to shutterstock.com, making an account, and using the promo code Gamebreaker7. We use Shutterstock on a daily basis at this point. We've got new websites being launched as we speak. Been on Shutterstock all day looking for artwork, all kinds of little things. CubeNation.tv coming very, very soon. And yes, I've been using Shutterstock. Cube World. You know all about the Cube World, Richie. You've been slamming out them Cube World videos.
I have. Yes. Me and Jasmine.
Yes.
Doing some playthroughs. Fun game.
Well, we're doing CubeNation.tv, a whole site just dedicated to it. It's not going to be exactly what you think, though. So, well, it's a little different. So you'll have to wait. But we've been using Shutterstock. All the little buttons, all the little things. We're doing graphics, all that kind of stuff. If you have a website, a YouTube page, or you're doing like YouTube videos, maybe you need stock photography, stock footage, any of that stuff, I'm telling you, you got to go over and check out Shutterstock. Give your site some personality. Look, this guy's just waiting to be put on somebody's YouTube page. Oh, what happened? I just clicked off of him. Wait, come back. That guy was awesome. Oh, that's a light box. Oh, there was that guy. That was a great dude. There he is.
You tease us.
Oh, there he I'm teasing because I got the card still up. I was looking. This guy's just waiting to be on a YouTube page. Like seriously, like you need some caricature artwork and you want to like spruce up your page and kind of give it some personality. Like you're doing gameplay videos and maybe you don't want to put your own face on it, but you want like, kind of a brand. You want a brand behind like, what you're doing. I don't know. That guy's just waiting to be put on a page. Crazy.
That's
wrestler.
my brand right there.
Seriously. You could take that one. That's Vector Mexican Wrestler 6. But, that would cost you. I can't even imagine what something like that would cost you to commission like an artist to do. Like a really good artist. I mean, you're talking at least $400 or $500. Probably like, maybe 2 revisions, if you're lucky for a low cost like that. It's super expensive and you can't really afford it. That's why you got Shutterstock. That's why we use Shutterstock. So go on over, make a new account. Make sure you use offer code Gamebreaker with the number 7 on checkout there when you make that account, and you're going to save 30% off on your account. All right, so let's talk about these the cutthroat politics that we've been talking a little bit about that are coming up. So they're coming up with the next update that's going to be on July 23rd is when that drops. Damn, that cadence of 2013, huh? Just keeps on a rolling.
Buzzword.
So what's happening with this politics? Are we legalizing gay marriage or what? Because I'm completely all for.
Not quite that.
No?
God.
No. So if you've been following the story, what happened at Dragon Bash, there was an effigy lighting ceremony, and it was sabotaged. This woman named Mai Trin sabotaged it and actually wound up killing one of the council members. Now, the Lion's Arch is governed by the Captain's Council, right? It's a group of pirates and merchants and wealthy people kind of bought their way in. And she was trying to get on the council, but she got caught, and the players tracked her down, and we brought her to justice. But now there's a spot open up on the council, and the two front runners are Captain Ellen Keel, who has been a major part of the story with the players, the living story since basically the beginning. You know, she's been we've been following her exploits, and the other person is Evan Nashblade. He's a Char who is one of the founders of the Black Lion Trading Company. He's a wealthy merchant, and we haven't, as players, gotten to see him in action too much, but he's been in Lion's Arch for a while, and we know he's wealthy and influential and that kind of thing. So we are going to rock the vote and figure out who is going to be the next captain council member.
And speaking of the vote, so before I saw the Colin Johansson live stream video, I was super excited everyone, about everyone voting and results changing server to server, that kind of thing. After watching his live stream, it doesn't really sound like that's going to happen. Have they really fully explained how it's going to work? I mean, or are you just kind of like theories floating around? Are we actually going to be voting as players, or will there be some other kind of metric?
So what we know is you're going to be able to earn support tokens in the game, and then you use those support tokens to actually place a vote for a particular candidate. And there's going to be, it sounds like there's going to be various ways to actually do that. He said stuff like, there might be a particular merchant here or there that might try to buy your vote, and they'll hand you some support tokens. And we know that their candidate trials challenge is a kind of like an activity, a game, where you're going to try to hold off waves of Aetherblade pirates, and one of the rewards you can do, it'll actually give you support tokens. So the more you play that mini game, the more votes you can cast for your person. So it's we don't have all the details on that, but it's basically going to be earning an in-game currency and then using that to sway the vote.
Do we have any insight on how the different servers are going to work or anything like that? Are the efforts going to be counted together?
They're going to be one vote for everybody. He mentioned that in the future they would like to be able to do something where there's different results on different servers for this type of thing, but they don't have that in place for this. So it's going to be, total player base affects it, and the outcome will be, and I like the appeal of having different things happen to different servers, right? All right, so who's the captain council member on yours? But you got to think about it from the dev's point of view. I mean, now you're creating twice as many kind of content, because I imagine whoever wins this is going to be more prominent in the story going forward, right? If you have Nashblade wins, then you're going to see him more. But if you
Black
have to,
Lion Key slashed for 4 weeks, go go go,
go. But if you have to make that story for both outcomes because different servers have different things, I don't know. That's a lot of resource. That's resource intensive.
Almost makes you wonder if it's going to be sort of pre-thought out. I don't know. Now tell me about the fractal that's coming. There's a new fractal that's related to Abaddon. What's anybody got any insight on the lore behind this? What's the story?
Want me to go, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead with that.
All right, so depending on which candidate you pick, if you pick which one is if you pick the chart, Nashblade, Evan Nashblade, you get the Fall of Abaddon instance, and this is something that even predates Guild Wars 1. So Abaddon is one of the old gods, right? And he's the one that actually gave magic to the races of Tyria. And basically, all the races had all this magic, and they were starting wars with each other and killing each other over the power. And so King Doric of the humans actually made a plea to the gods to take magic away, and they actually, usurped some of the power of magic, and they put it in these bloodstones and reduced the effectiveness of magic. And Abaddon basically got all wigged out, pissed, and angry, so he warred against the gods and lost. And he's been exiled into the realm of torment. And this whole event was the reason why the Crystal Sea turned into the Crystal Desert. So it sounds like we get to go back in time and witness some of what happened during Abaddon's freakout. So it sounds really cool.
It actually sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And both candidates are going to offer like a rotation of like activities and things like that, like crab toss, South Sun survival. Crab toss sounds familiar, but South Sun survival is new, right? Is that new?
Yeah, that's coming in this patch next week.
Any
In
info
the chat,
on it?
people say that it's Hunger Royale, but except with Karka. That's actually pretty interesting. I didn't even think about that. If that's true, then that would be fun.
So you think it's Hunger Games?
Brought
Do you
that
think it's
back.
like the Hunger Games from beta? That was beta, right?
It,
it was
it sounds similar.
Yeah, beta.
It doesn't have the hunger mechanic in it, it sounds like, but you go there armed with nothing but a bow and whatever you can scavenge in the little mini game, and it's basically who can survive the longest type thing.
Sounds cool.
So
I mean,
sounds
I remember.
similar.
I remember at beta that was like one of the everyone's almost favorite one. Everybody seemed to really love that one. It was kind of just chaos, everybody running around, and it's pretty nuts.
Because it was like world versus world in the main areas, and everybody
Yeah.
in PvE areas, so that's fun.
So if Ellen Keel is elected, you got Waypoint travel prices going to be reduced for 4 weeks. Black line trading,
which I love.
You got travel prices being reduced. And then you've got another fractal relating to what is it? The Thomanova reactor explosion.
Reactor explosion. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get a
Since
different,
Richie seems like Richie's now our new lore expert apparently. What is this one all about? Is this like the Guild Wars 2 Chernobyl? What's going on?
Yeah, kind of. This one happened this happened between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. There's an area in Metrica Province which you can visit in the game. It's in the northwest side. It's where the fire elemental world boss spawns. So the Inquest did some sort of nasty experiment there with some great power they couldn't control, and there was some sort of meltdown. And now when you visit that area, there's all these weird things. Like there's all these creatures there that shouldn't be there. Like there's an Arctic section with polar bears, and people who want to get their like daily variety achievement done, they go there because there's all these different animals in one place. It's all a result of this explosion that happened that brought in all these creatures from all different areas. And so we kind of know that area is all messed up. We don't know what happened. So it sounds like if Keel is elected, we get a fractal that kind of explains what happened with the Inquest. What were they trying to, what were they experimenting on there, and what happened with that explosion? So, slightly, in my opinion, slightly less interesting than the God of Magic, fighting the other gods.
Sounds a little less interesting. Hopefully, it's still equally as cool, but it's definitely not as epic as the other one.
Yeah.
A
It'll be
few
like
more
God
events.
of War.
There's a couple other events that are going to be rolling out as part of the update as well. What is this? Is some kind of PvP arena? This sounds like it has potential, but I mean, do you know anything about this, Matt? Do you know if it's going to stick around? Is this more of a mini game, or is this like real PvP?
Oh no, I think this is a mini game that's coming in. Just like all the other mini games like Crab Toss and all that. It's just like you're in your PvP armor, so they say PvP activity. Not much information on it. You earn karma and coins, it seems. Every round you get a rare chance to get a back piece. That's
Because you need more of those. You need more back pieces.
Yeah, we definitely need more.
Keep rolling them out. And then there's a PvE event that sounds pretty amazing. It sounds sort of like Horde mode, doesn't it?
Yep, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
how many waves of Aetherblade Pirates can you survive before you pass out?
As long as possible. So, and of course, just for Richie, like you said, exclusive new back items. So he's gonna be looking forward to those. I know you can't wait.
I got a
My question though,
line my bank space. Sorry.
For the challenge, the Horde mode, will I be able to play with my friends? That's the key component here. Like
No,
What?
that's confirmed.
Really?
I want to play with my friends, dude.
Yeah,
why have these if I can't play
Wait,
with my friends?
it's a single player Horde mode?
No, it's not single player, but you can't. All of these like little mini games, they're really fun. But the problem is, if you have a party of people, you get split into different instances, and it's just a random chance that you get to play with the people that you're grouped with. And they actually responded to this, I think today or yesterday. They basically said, yeah, we want to do that. There is a technical issue that's prevented us, and it's more complicated than you would think. So maybe in the future.
So you kind of want to be in a group and then be able to queue for this thing. Somebody grabs the pet mini game just like you do PvP map. Maybe we enter as a group, but they just don't have it set up. Okay. Because I would have just assumed that it was going to work like that. Apparently sounds like a coding issue that they got to work on. So at least they're aware of it, and hopefully they'll implement that soon. Because, yeah, I mean, Horde mode sounds awesome, but yeah, it sounds less awesome when I just get dumped into it with just random people. I'd much rather be like with the group and be like, hey, you want to go do Horde mode? Yeah, let's do it. And then keep gaming together. I don't really want to hit an experience that kind of separates me from my group. That's kind of weird. Well, hopefully it'll come. Always another day, always another patch. So ArenaNet have announced the Guild Wars 2 Invitational and regional qualifying tournaments. This is big news. I mean, this isn't just ArenaNet standing on the sidelines here letting, the community kind of do this and do what they want. And just, I mean, they're getting involved now with esports. I don't know. Did you expect it so soon, Richie? Was this or is it a long time coming?
Well, you know what? This is we've known that ArenaNet's been serious about making this happen, right? We talked about it before the game even launched, and then first, for a bunch of different reasons that a lot of the core features weren't ready, so it kind of be put on the back burner. But it's really nice to see that hey, now that those pieces are in place, that ArenaNet is stepping up and saying, all right, yeah, let's continue. I mean, we talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago, but we had a lot of momentum once they put spectator mode in and the custom arenas. Things started firing up, and then as those tournaments kind of came and went, it started to trickle down a little bit. But hopefully they can keep that burning, bring some more players, more pro teams in, and this is gonna be great. This is gonna be an awesome event. So
they're gonna hold it. They're gonna hold it at PAX. Anybody going to PAX? Anybody going to PAX this year?
I wish.
Yeah, I'm not going to PAX this year. It smells really bad. Don't worry about it, bro. So the top teams from North America and Europe are going to compete for $10,000 in the best 3 games out of 5. I'm pretty sure it's just called like best of 5, but we'll cut them some slack there anyway. So not a bad prize pool to start this thing off, 10K. Considering the scene is only a couple months old at this point, I think this maybe like wake some people up and kind of really see what's happening. So the regional qualifiers are July 27th in Europe and August 3rd in North America. If there's one thing I want to see out of this, it's these streams embedded in the launcher. Don't you think that would really be a great way to get this kind of really pushed forward? 'Cause I mean, that's what Riot's been doing for the longest time. And man, does it push people to watch this stuff. Hopefully, I mean, you guys agree? I think that they really, really, really should consider doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Because with sometimes you forget, it's like, oh, okay, it's on August 31st, but I mean, if you're doing something, you're like, oh, let's log into Guild Wars 2. A lot of people are not, they're not looking up news for the game. They kind of treat it like they treat, Call of Duty or whatever. Like they just throw it in and they play it. They don't really look up news and anything like that. Now, if it's thrown in their face, like how Riot does, then definitely people would just click and like, oh, let me see if people are playing competitively for, a lot of money. This would be interesting to watch and see, how much the struggle between the two teams and all that type of stuff. It would be cool to see. And yeah, I'm telling you, man, definitely, I agree. It has to be in the launcher, and I think
I imagine we'll see it. I can't see them, with a 10K prize pool. They're definitely, going to want to go a little bit farther than just marketing on the web and kind of letting outlets kind of display it. That would be the way to do it. Yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the next 6 to 12 months with esports and Guild Wars 2. Just happy that they're finally coming around and really kind of getting some push behind it. All right, I want to talk about kites. Yes, flying kites. But first, I'm super excited about this next ad. I really am, because I haven't started listening to this book yet. But it sounds so awesome. My buddy, just couldn't stop talking about it for like an hour the other night, and they have it on Audible. I was gonna buy the book. Have either of you guys ever read a book called Ready Player One?
No.
Okay, well, I think everyone needs to, because he just literally could not stop talking about this book for like an hour. And watch the chat room's gonna. It is a science fiction. I mean, first of all, it's got 6,668 ratings on Audible, and it's rated a 4.7. They're already saying it's a sci-fi contemporary classic. MMO players will love this book. Here, I'm going to play a little bit for you.
I love
my
game
favorite
books.
news
Love
and
it.
entertainment vid feeds. Among these was my own channel, Parzival TV, broadcasting obscure eclectic crap, 24/7, 365. Earlier
Narrated by
that
Will
year,
Wheaton, by the way.
GSS had added a new feature to every
Oh,
Oasis
sounded like
user's
him.
account,
I know. I
the
was like, whoa,
POV.
hold up.
Personal
Oh, that's
Oasis vid feed channel. It allowed anyone who paid a monthly fee to run their own streaming television network. Anyone logged into the simulation could tune in and watch your POV channel from anywhere in the world. What you aired on your channel and who you allowed to view it were entirely up to you. Most users chose to run a voyeur channel, which was like being the star of your own 24-hour reality show. Hovering virtual cameras would follow your avatar around the Oasis as you went about your day-to-day activities. You could limit access to your channel so that only your friends could watch, or you could charge viewers by the hour to access your POV.
Telling you, it goes into all. It's like set in a virtual world where you gotta like it goes down the rabbit hole. MMOs, virtual worlds, all kinds of crazy stuff. And you guys can check it out for free. Yes, that's right. You could get this for free. Just go to audible.com/gamebreaker. Sign up. Got to use that URL. Got to go to audible.com/gamebreaker. Use the URL. You're going to get to try out Audible free for 30 days, and you get to receive one free audiobook. So Ready Player One, I'm highly recommending it, even before I've read it. I haven't listened to it yet. I've downloaded it. I haven't listened to it. I'm going to start tonight. But I've heard so much about it. And Michael Byrne has read it. We were talking about this yesterday on yesterday's show, and he was like, it is a must-read for gamers. It is a must-read. Check it out. If you guys have not checked out Audible, basically it's audiobooks. So you download the app and you put it on your iPhone, your iOS device, your Android, whatever you got, and then you download audiobooks. So with that URL, free for 30 days, get a free book, try it out, test it out, see if you like it. If you like it, you sign up. It's like a membership program where you pay X number of dollars a month. There's different tiers, and then they give you credits back to get books every month. So, I get like 1 to 2 books almost every single month, if not more. So check it out. It's awesome. It's I've been a fan for years, and I've been a member. So audible.com/gamebreaker. Go check it out. And that book was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, narrated by Will Wheaton. Nerd cred. All right, Richie. Game has kites. Who needs raids when you have kites?
It's true.
I don't know. What can we do with our kites?
You can fly your kite. Let's go. Fly our kite.
We can fly our kite. We're flying. We're jumping. We're running with our kites.
That's the video. Can you play the music on that?
Oh yeah, hang on.
Is holding tight to the
Because that's what
string
makes
of your
that video.
kite. Oh, let's go.
There's a
fly
rumor
your kite
if you go up on a ledge and you wait for that wind to hit it just
All right,
right,
I'm stopping it
you
there
might
in
be
case-
able to fly.
Oh, you're saying you could jump off and use it as like, and it'll catch the
Yeah,
wind,
you
right?
can glide down like in Cube World.
That's a rumor, is it?
It's a rumor, but
Okay.
it has to be a certain ledge, and you have to wait for that right wind. Wait for that right.
That's
And
You're trolling the chat room.
that sounds like such a troll. He's just gonna be like,
flying mounds.
it's this one peak and right here, and then he's just gonna sit in game and watch everybody climb to that peak and just like stand there, and everybody's trying to do it. No, not gonna happen. And flutes.
Flutes. That took all of like a few hours before that was put out.
Man, I love flutes.
You hear the song, right?
Mm-hmm. Loving it.
You're thinking about
That's one of Gary's favorite pre-show videos.
Every time I hear this song, I think about just the guy just drowning. For some reason, every single time.
Oh, to the left there was the left.
Oh, spoilers. Spoilers. Spoiler alert. Whoever hasn't
The
watched
Titanic sinks. The Titanic sinks.
People die.
I think we lost Gary. He's engrossed in the song.
Yeah. That's alright, we can do it. We can do the show without him. He just be background music. Oh, here it is.
There it is.
I just saw that video this year. I never saw that until like this year. I was like, wow, you gotta be kidding me.
Somebody needs to go sync those two videos out and put that on the internet.
Right. It'll be done by the end of the show. Those peaks when he really hits those spots in your ears. That's some good stuff, man.
Wait, when your head does when your head does what the dog does when it do a high pitched sound.
Oh man. Oh yeah, there it is. It's like a guy's voice cracking. Oh man. He's just gonna keep going with it, huh? Oh man. Oh gosh. A moment of silence.
All right, it's a little light on news this week, so we've always got Reddit. Reddit always delivers when we've got a bad week of news. So that zone you guys talked about last week, how did we actually get there? By boat?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, by boat. By boat from Lion's Arch. Or you can waypoint them.
There's no way that boat could fit through the Straits of Devastation. Just saying.
They're airships. They can fly. It lifts off.
There's an airship. Yeah,
You know, it's Zurian technology, dude. That's explains everything.
it's pretty funny. Like from the player's point of view, you just teleport there, right? You don't actually do the journey. I guess they should have made that a sort of portal.
Yeah.
There's no way to get there.
Is
But
it
I guess,
presumably is like an unarmed passenger ship going all the way around or into unknown waters through a canal that may or may not be there? I mean, how does that work?
Some of the speculation in that thread is kind of interesting. One person said that, hey, you know what? In the timing of the timeline of the story, this takes place after the events of Zaitan, right? So maybe the waters are a little bit easier to navigate now that you don't have Risen swimming in it all the time. So that's one theory. Another theory said, hey, you can do what the ancient Vikings did, and you can use. I can't concentrate with that.
The chorus thing, man.
That's my favorite part.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the best part
I
right
cannot talk while that's going on. I will sit here and enjoy it with you, or
This is
We
when
need
he really
answers.
shines
We ask
right here.
tough questions on.
Oh yeah. Man, I think he needs to win a Grammy. I'm nominating him.
I agree.
Oh,
I
that's
agree.
good.
Solo theme. Damn flautists. Yeah, this is definitely reminding me of my my son's recorder.
Oh.
My son's recorder practice for 3rd grade.
All right, we need
Oh.
answers. We ask tough questions on the show. We want answers, ArenaNet. We want answers. Reddit also reminded us that Guild Wars 2's first birthday is coming up, and that's on August 28th, right around the corner. Did ArenaNet ever do anything to the original Guild Wars to celebrate the birthday of Guild Wars?
Yes, they did.
What did they do?
They had like a little celebration. They did fireworks, and they brought back some of the mini games from throughout the year that people like the roller beetle racing. They gave cupcakes out. They dropped, cupcake buffs were dropped from mobs and stuff like that, and they decorated. And also another big thing is they gave out rare mini packs basically to players when a character hit their 1-year anniversary. So there's a lot of speculation going on, like, are they going to do something when your character hits a year old? Will you get any kind of special prize or whatnot? So I think there's an expectation there from old Guild Wars players, so maybe they'll carry that tradition on forward as well. Yeah.
Well, if they'll do something new or kind of keep to the Guild Wars tradition from Guild Wars 1, or if they'll move on from that and come up with some new stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. One thing I wanted to mention about the kites is, in case people didn't know, if you had spent gems in the gem store in the spring, I think it was between April and June, you got a free kite sent to you the other day in the mail as a thank you. This is the second time they kind of did a thank you free item. The last time it was a...
Damn it, why couldn't I have gotten a free flute?
minis.
What's up with that?
No free flute. Never, ArenaNet, if you're listening, never send Gary a flute.
Please, ArenaNet, send me a flute. All right, and then one of the top-rated threads over on the subreddit this week was about the guild system. Lots of stuff going on over there. People want improvements. I mean, I know you guys, I think, agree. We've talked about this before. This goes all the way back to like launch. Do you guys agree with the thread that improving the guild system needs to be a bigger priority than it seems to be right now, at least from the perception of the player end?
Yeah, man. They took a lot of features, I think. Last seen online, all those type of activities, all those little features need to be in the guild system, and it's not there. And of course, guild halls. Come on, we need guild halls. It was in Guild Wars 1. But yeah, there's a lot of little features like that should be implemented. And,
is that really what most people are looking for, though, or just like the drop down features and things like that, or is it like bigger picture things to do as a guild? Because when I think of the guild system needs attention, it's guilds need larger, bigger picture things and activities to do as a guild. That's what they need.
Right, and they did the guild mission thing, which was good and was bad at the same time. Well, it's not bad, but for smaller guilds, they can't really do the guild missions. I'm guessing, those are the people who don't really want more guild stuff other than the guild missions now, because most of the guild missions are for bigger guilds. So, yeah, I can see the outcry for that, definitely.
Richie, what are the major changes you're looking for?
It's funny, the biggest thing that I want, I know a lot of people want this, it wasn't even mentioned in this thread, is I want some sort of custom chat channels or alliance chat, or be able to see the chat of the guilds that you're not representing, because that has been the number one guild related issue for me personally, because I'm in several guilds, but my main guild requires 100% represent time, and I like to honor that and help build influence in my guild so we can continue to unlock things and whatnot. But I like to be able to communicate with these other communities, and I can't. So that's the big thing for me. But I also agree with a lot of things that were in the Reddit thread as well. They want little things like the last login, which helps guild management, right? If you want to see who's inactive and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they mentioned guild achievements, adding some sort of guild achievement system in there, which due to the big overhaul of the personal achievements and how successful and how people are just raving about that, I think guild achievements would be a great thing for you to work on together. And I think that kind of ties into what you were saying, more things to do with your guild. Give your guild something to work towards together, like little fun things, beat that dungeon in this amount of time, or stuff like that. So
Richie Procopio, follow him on the Twitter at Richie Procopio, and of course go over to his YouTube channel, Bog Otter. Check out his Guild Wars 2 stuff and also his new Cube World stuff as well over on Bog Otter. Follow Richie Procopio. Matt Visual, you can follow him on Twitter at Matt_Visual. And go over to his YouTube channel, Matt Visual, where he's got a bunch of content up over there as well. And of course, right here on GuildCast every single Wednesday. You can follow me at Gary Gannon, follow Gamebreaker TV at Gamebreaker TV. And keep an eye on our Facebook page and Twitter. Got some new stuff coming. Speaking of Cube World, new site coming. All kinds of good fun stuff. Like I said, we do the show live every Wednesday at 6 PST. Come on over for the live show. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And for everybody who does show up, thanks so much for showing up. We love you. You're awesome. And we'll see you next week for more GuildCast.